สบายดี
Alright, สบายดี Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And now you're watching
English Chit Chat.
Of course, on Laoyouth Radio, 90.0MHz. No? And we are also on live on our Facebook page,
Laoyouth Radio. โดยสบายดีเอวาลี
สบายดีดาว of course. And we have our guest today. We have a new arrangement.
Yes.In order to for our guests to more comfortable during the interval.
Man, to not feel, like awkward.
Turn it right to left all the time.
Yeah, no. And today, of course, we would like to thank, first of all, before getting to know our guest today, which I would say that she is one of the people that I admire just by seeing several times. Like meeting her in events, but not talking to her. But I already got something, like from just by listening to her and seeing what she is performing on the stage. Right. So, first of all, we would like to thank our sponsor, Coca-Cola. Taste of
feeling. I know that today it's freaking hot.
Man.
So Coca-Cola can help you, can refresh you from this weather. So Coca-Cola, if you don't drink soft drink, you can drink water. น้ำทิพย์
Man, or if you're concerned about your shape, if you work out, you can choose the one with zero sugar, which I also drink almost every day.
That's fine. That's a beauty. Very good shape now.
Right. And we also thank to Sky Telecom for a very fast and smooth internet for our live today.
Thank you so much for Sky Telecom 1833 Call them if you need the internet for your office, from your home, from your business. Just call them 1833 Sky Telecom.
Right, yeah. No. And today, I think let's not waste our time because I really want to talk to her already. I'm already keen to know a lot of things from her. So, this lady is a female engineer who turned herself later into a CEO.
Whoa.
That sounds very cool, right?
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Philaiphone Vongpaseuth or Philly.
Yay! สวัสดี
สบายดี Welcome to our program.
Likewise, my pleasure to be here.
Thank you for coming.
It's our honor to have you too.
How are you doing, sis?
I'm doing fine.But a bit juggling between home and work, partly, and traveling a little.
I see. So, I know that it's very hard if you feel thirsty during the interview, please, Coca-Cola is in front of you.
น้ำทิพย์
Tie in. Well, anyway, thank you so much for coming, for joining us on this Saturday. And Philly just told us that at first she didn't aware that it's gonna be this fast. She thought it's gonna be the next month, but everything can happen.
Today, Philly, today you have to come. No.
Okay, always a pleasure to be able to spread the influence of me to the youth, to the people who really wanted to have inspired to do something in their life.
Right. And we're happy to have you here today. And I believe that a lot of young people out there are going to get a lot of things from our episode today. And first of all, we would like you to introduce yourself maybe further, a little bit deeper to our audience right now, please.
Yes, hi, my name is Philly. You call me, this is the nickname Philly, or in full name Philaiphone Vongpaseuth. I'm a CEO of the Sober Laos and a managing partner at the LG company, which is a civil engineering. And I'm focused very much on providing consultancy on business investment and marketing.Wow.
Now look, I got a good spunk already. Just for the introduction.
By the title, CEOs, right?
Exactly.
Right. So maybe would you tell us a little bit more about your nature? I have presented before that you were a female engineer, but then you turn yourself into a management field, into being a CEO.So maybe would you tell us about when you were younger? Why did you decide to pursue your study first in engineering?
Actually, when I was, there's a story back, when I was in primary school, I want to be a chef.A chef, believe it or not, is a chef. It's not something magical. It's not about engineer. And it's not about being a CEO at all. I want to be a chef. I asked my sisters, my dad for a recipe. What can we do? แกงหน่อไม้ What are ingredients on this? Because, any ingredients I could find in the house, around the gardens, and I will cook it up. And I will make the dish look nice and decorations and dish setting and things like that. And then my mom say, oh, she's probably going to, culinary school for sure. Oh, that's only Papasak back then, no? So that's the only option. But then after that, when I entered into secondary school, I participated in a boot camp, and then I was assigned into the nurse booth, so to help other kids who got dehydrated or faint or dizzy. And then, and coincides with my dad passing away. He was sick and he was hospitalized. So we admitted him to a local hospital, and then he passed away at the hospital. So I was, due to the lack of, they don't have enough a professional doctor back then. So I was very upset. So I found myself to be a doctor to save lives.
That's good.
And then I found out myself, like when I saw blood, I kind of like scared of blood. So that
Maybe not.
maybe not, because then I can't save life that way, and they probably saving me instead of I saving them. So but saving lives is come in different form. So you can contribute into the society in different way and touching and changing the life indirectly if you could. That's what I am doing today. And then once I competed for a scholarship, and I say, okay, if medical is not the choice, and I'm good at science, so what am I going to do with that? Okay, engineering. They will have math, physics, and chemistry. That's easy peasy for me because I like it. I think I can survive. If I enroll in literature, accounting, I'll be dead,
Right.
So I decided, okay, engineering. So what sort of engineering that cool and easy on women?
Cool and easy.
Cool and easy for women. So I thought, okay, engineering. So then my best friend also helped me choose the field as well. So he said, okay, telecommunications. Okay, sounds good, but I don't know what it does, but sounds good. So I enrolled into engineering, telecommunications. Once I arrived Australia, apparently that's the hardest major in the IT&T faculty. I did not know. So from hundreds of students come to final year 4, we have only 25 left.
Wow.
So
From how many?
So you're the survivor.
from hundreds,
100.
over 100. So then we have 25 left. So less than 25% left. And then for whoever 25 left, I think 80% receive an honor degree because they're very smart and then they're good at it. And I'm
You were one of them.
You're one of them.
So during my final year project, my classmates who did the final year project together, I also in parallel did my honor thesis as well, so project to complete my year 4 of bachelor and then honor thesis as well in parallel. So he asked me, okay, Philly, if you finish this, I'm sure you will graduate it. What will you do? Will you come back to study anything at all? Because I want to join you because we made such a great team. I want to study with you again. I said, okay, sure. I want to come back and do MBA. And then he asked me, why you want to do an MBA? I said, well, I want to be a CEO. Right there, I said I want to be a CEO.
But what made
You say that out loud, like you want to be a CEO.
Yeah, I said that to my friend, and then I said, oh, the reason because I want to be a CEO because I saw the CEO on the Time magazine and the Forbes magazine. It looks so cool. So I thought, oh, must be very powerful and rich. I want to be a CEO. And little that I know that being a CEO is the damn hard work to manage. And then, the journey wasn't that easy.
That's really awesome. But first of all
See, dream can alternate, can change over the time.
Because what I saw in like your story is that like if you do not know like for at the moment what you're passionate about or what do you like, just pursue the thing that you think or you realize that you're good
You're
at.
like at that particular moment, yes.
You see the possibility to do that thing. So I'm kind of curious about the
Telecommunications.
engineer. What is it all about? Like, what's it all about?
Actually,
what
telecommunications engineering, that's a good question because they have branches of this specialization. You can do the satellite, you can do mobile communication, you know, the data warehouse and things like that. I choose to do or specialize in satellite communications.
Wow.
So yeah,
That sounds like the hardest
writing
one.
a code, you know, controlling satellite.
Cool.
Yeah,
You control satellite?
Then my internship is about writing a code to detect fire in Australia because Australia has a lot of bushfire every year. So, you know, that's my internship jobs. And another internship job of mine is about the first generation of 3G, which back in 2002, that's about first generation 3G already. I come back to Laos, that's 2010. I just found 3G 10 years later, like almost 10 years. So yeah, it's a different. And I work apparently in GSM 1800, 1900. But I studied 3G engineering, which is like, oh, what's happening? And I study satellite communication, but I work in a telco on the mobile communication. So there's a lot of things to learn. But if you have a background in telecommunication, you kind of shift around and you can manage around that.
So it's like related.
Yeah. Did you find it hard, like from switch your major from engineer, like from the girl who like working with technical stuff to study MBA, which is quite general major, I would say. So did you find that hard that time, and how did you adjust?
Actually, I was in a management position already. So you have to manage the team, you have to do the management report, you have to do the focus on the growth of your own department. I already a deputy head of that department already. The
In Australia or like in
Laos,
yeah,
at the telco company. So some sort of okay, I have a technical skills and I need a management skills to balance myself out. So MBA is the way to go. And I think I choose the right path because it's so very versatile and very, very useful degree to be, you know, having.
Before going deeper to the MBA, I have a question actually about like when you did your engineering. So looking back, you say it's just only about 25% of the students that survivors. What would you think were the reasons why you succeeded at that time?
Or why they failed or why they left. There's two sides of the coins, right? Why people are leaving because they found that okay, you study halfway and you feel like, oh, this is not my dream, this is not the subject I want, so they drop out. Some fail, and the reason I succeed is that I don't study a lot, but I study smart. Basically, I plan my study. I don't read a lot. When I was in the lecture, I fully give my 100% to the lecture. You listen and then you remember from it. And it's very little for you to come back and do the homework to understand something when you already understood.
Wow.
So you try to understood thing and then you apply it to the assignments and you talk to friends if you don't understand things. So you take initiative on your own learning. And if you can't find anything, you just do research. So university life is just giving you freedom to do things on your own, which is you know, you need to tune in the style of your run on how to study better. And during my MBA, I found that study in a group is much better and more effective than study alone.
True. And like from being an engineer who started studying MBA, do you think that you have like, you know, a unique kind of way or like your like the engineer style of, you know, management or not?
True. I am an engineer background and I always think systematically very systematically I sometimes I panic if I jump the sequence and things like that so over the time I kind of let loose and then manage it better it doesn't matter to go from A to Z to A to to D first not to A B C but engineer we kind of this way but it also has its own strength that because you manage on a systematic way so it helps you to organize your time in more systematic manner your work in a more systematic manner my desk are not very messy they're very clean clear yeah so that's how I work I'm a neat freak so
wow I wish I can learn a tiny bit from you
very neat freak
but you did everything in Australia am I right like
I did all my degree in Australia yes
so what did you learn and what did you learn from study and live in Australia
good questions learning overseas is I think it's opened my eyes a lot and when you getting out of your country you're looking back into your country and what needs to be done and what skills are needed for me to really come back home and contribute and make you love your home or the country more actually you go out and you see what disadvantages we have and we don't have and then what kind of thing that you do you wanted to contribute into this society and in Australia it giving me independent independent thinking problem solving cross cultural learning I don't really I'm sorry guys I don't really hang out with Lao students in Australia because I'm there for a short period of time and for those out there who have or going to have a scholarship to overseas please do not hang out with all the Laos because then you will speak Lao all day and then you won't be able to practice your English so that because the situation of mine allow me to be far away from other Lao students because they are in different university and for me to travel to them is about 2 hours so it's just a hassle on the bus and I couldn't make it every week also to hang out with those people and you have studies to do so I hang out with Australian Italian Honky Taiwanese all the international students and by hanging out with them I was also the campus international student reps as well so I worked for my school my university as well when I was 19 I already become a volunteer 20 I was already year 2 as a student reps for international student in my campus so I volunteers a lot so that I can make more friends and speak more English and know more about the city I live in which is Adelaide South Australia so it's the way that I made myself to out there to learn a new thing willing to make friends willing to help other because when I arrived Australia on the first day we cried because we miss home where were we were placed in very remote they call it a student house then we started to cry missing home and what the hell we are doing here on the first day but then later we feel like okay if the student come in and they need 1 2 3 4 they need a support on the bus ticket they need a support on finding a house the rental house the unit they need to find a way to where to eat what to shop and things like that then I realized that's what I need when I was arriving Australia on the first go so I become a volunteer as a buddy program to help other new arrival to settle in uni in Australia showing them what to eat what to buy what to manage themselves how to look for a house for a job and how to study how to do research how to use library how to use printer whatever that's that's the job of the buddies
so you learned live with people from around the world.
Exactly, yes.
You understood people from different backgrounds, cultures.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that make it easier for you to become a manager, to manage a diverse workforce. You just they open their mouth. I know that, you know, what they're coming from and then where they're coming from in their standpoint. In that way, you don't miss communication and you don't misunderstood them because you know their standpoint is based on their cultural background and their understanding. So the conflicts don't arise.
As you just told us about you at that time you started the engineer and you just told your friend that I want to be a CEO and now you are. Could you please like share us about your journey or any tips, any advices that made you became you today as a CEO today?
You're talking about the secrets of realizing my dream or you're thinking the journey I'm coming here
finally became a CEO.
To finally become a CEO is the same as realizing your dream and making your dream a reality.
Right.
So maybe you have to provide you with 5 secrets on this. The secret is not a secret.
So you have to jot down all the secrets right now.
So the first one is on top of the list is to be very passionate. You know, you have to have a passion to do things that you love. So that if you love something you do, you make it a routine, you make it a daily life. So it's not a try hard thing. So it's already blend into your daily life. So it become a habit and then you practice it. And that's passions bring you into you know, having the courage to do things, to pursue what you really love and, you know, babysit it until like it grow, like hatching it, your dream. And second is being authentic about like being yourself. You have to know yourself and you sell yourself. Sell yourself in this means like you whatever you do, you have to be honest to yourself, to the other, so that people can trust you easily. You know, the customer that coming in to work with me or use my services because they know who I am and today I'm not like this and tomorrow I'm changing into another person. They know exactly what they will get when they come to Philly. She just, you know, this, you know, she is honest, she has integrity in her work. So the consultancy businesses require that. And into your life, at living your life also you need to be yourself and be proud of who you are because everybody is unique.
True.
So if you want to copy others, you will be running tired and you will run out of your energy because you're trying to be others, not yourself. So being yourself is the easiest and you don't need to lie, you don't need to remember anything, you just be yourself. The third one is taking initiative, being proactive. Being proactive, this I read from, I got it from Stephen Covey, the 7 Habits book.
Nice.
That I read when I was in the 20s.
Wow.
So that's long ago.
Yeah.
And then
long ago.
I say proactive, the first habit, you have to be very proactive. Proactive means you take initiative of the thing that you want. If you're a student, you don't understand anything, you just ask. People don't ask in loud. This is frustrated me. People don't ask questions.
Why do you think so? Why do people?
They are so prudent. Our culture make us so prudent, make us shy. And then until we cannot separate between what should be prudent about and what should not be prudent about. I mean, things that you want to learn, things that are good for you, things that are right to do. You're supposed to be brave about it and pursue it. Take initiative. Ask for help. Because as a youth, you're young and you're allowed, you actually have a privilege of making mistakes. And people say, oh, they're still young, let it go, you know. So you have that privilege that people don't take your mistakes seriously. So you still can come back to it and retry. So you learn from it. So take initiative. Nobody yell at you, nobody will say anything. If I do take initiative right now, like, make a mistake right now, people will say, you're 40 now, what the hell are you doing? So that's a different kind of comments over it. So you have an advantage of being very young and forgivable and forgiving, others will forgive you, so which is good. And the fourth one is commitment. The reason I become a CEO because I do commit to what I want. So every career path I choose, it's kind of a stepping stone for me. So I choose private sector, telco, World Bank, Swiss, Pussy Construction, and then coming to open my own businesses. Every job that I took, I just make it a stepping stone, cultivated my experience to become a consultant. Because you can't be a consultant if you don't have experience.
True.
So that's kind of, I planned it ahead and all along. And then, the software has been planned for a decade, not today or not yesterday. So that's a decade for me to have the courage to really open the software. And to become a CEO, you need to cultivate lots of experience. And the most important of all is my willingness to learn. So you become very humble to learn. So people saw you being humble. They just are willing to give it a go, to give you a chance to teach you. I'm a CEO, I'm a youngest of the management team. Below me just 62, 56, 54 CFO behind, below me that I have to manage. And how do they accept a female CEO, female boss, young? That's a bad combination that people could think of that could be discriminated against. But I don't really see myself as a woman. I don't see myself as CEO. I don't see myself as supervisor. I see myself as a learner. I see myself as the team worker. So a team member, what should you do to require assistance from a senior, from a team? Then you give them respect. You respect for what they're good at. And you give them respect for what they are. And then in turn they respect you because a smart manager or smart leader know how to create a followers.
Wow, that was very
So lastly is the fifth one, right? The fifth secret is networking. You cannot go anywhere if you don't have a network and people supporting you. And your supporting network is the most important also because then they inspire you, they help you, they refer customer to you, they refer you to the job that you in fact the work at the World Bank I was referred to, okay, this position you might be interested in, would you like to apply? So that the news, then you apply yourself and then you fight for it yourself. Not that people giving you a job, but they will tell you, oh, this is a job, you might like it. Like you're doing CSR. I saw something, opportunity about CSR, would refer to you, hey, Wally, you like this, you would love this, sending you the link and things like that. That's today we already have a network on that. And then it's something we have shared together on the CSR aspects.
Wow. That was so inspiring, and we can see that it's a long journey. It's not just like you have a target of being a CEO and you like directly jump into the position. You have like quite a long journey with it, and of course you struggles because of a lot of like the notions when it comes to a leader. First of all, we are females and we are quite young.
The social norms never allow you to take it easy, and we can't choose the easy path. But if you could ignore that and hold on to your dream and what you believe, like Nelson Mandela, he was believed in his political view, and he was prisoned, and then he was released later, and then he became a president of South America. So the guy is really hold on to his dream and until his dream come true, and he pursue to become a president for the next two decades, which is inspiring also.
Wow. And your secrets that you just shared with us also inspiring as well. So please allow me to recap a little bit about the tips that Philly just shared with us. The first one, passion. I love this one.
Yeah.
Emily, did you notice something that almost everyone that we interview,
Like
they
the
will
guest.
mention this one, like passion.
True.
Passion is very important.
It's like a foundation of everything. Like
Exactly.
Philly say, it's like a not like it's like a grip that like you will hold on to it. You will like naturally willing to do or to initiate everything.
I mean, it's very important, passion. And the second one is be true to yourself.
That's so important.
Authentic to yourself. And especially when we are working the service job or any kind of job, it's very important to be loyal to your customers, to yourself, be yourself. It's very important. And the third one is taking initiative.
Proactive.
Like if you don't ask any questions, you just like ask the question. If you don't understand anything, just tell them that I don't understand anything.
Yeah.
Just like taking initiative that kind of make you improve yourself better.
And there's no like silly questions. The silly question is the one that is not asked, right? And being proactive is also like start doing something that you really wanted to start, like Philly say. You're still young. I mean, like not just for the
Take
young
the
people.
first step.
Man, and the fourth one is commitment. Commitment, it's also one of the main factors that can push one person to achieve something.
Man.
That's right.
As we are doing this job, as I say, that many people can do this, but not many people can
Commit to
it. Exactly.
Right. And because of commitment, no, if Philly, I think she had like faced some struggles before becoming a CEO. If she didn't have any commitment, then along the way she
I
might
would
say
have
like,
let go. Yes.
Whatever.
That's true. And the last one, networking. I absolutely agree with this one. It's all about people, not because you cannot work alone. In this world. So you need people to help, to consult you, to give you the advice to do something. Or people who offer you the opportunity.
That is very true.
Something.
And then under the network, you can also add your role models and also your mentor as well, because that too are very important, because the role model is something you look, or someone you look up to. So you see that, okay, I want to be like this, I want to become this, and then you work towards it, and you have a mentor who coaching you to become that particular model that you want to be.
Wow, that's very, very good tips that all of you out there, if you're listening to us or if you are watching us, you can adapt to your life, your work, or anything that you're doing in your life now. โดย Emily, I know you want to ask the question. I know that question is coming.
You can see in my eyes.
I know it's coming. Do you think shall we take a little bit break?
Yeah, I think it's time, no? Or you want to check if there's any before we go to the
so
break?
many comments on our Facebook Live.
Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment.
ท่านนี่บอกว่า FC sees Philly, FC
ขอบใจหลายๆ Thank you
Nice FC, you speak like a native speaker. Awesome. FC you're so many, you have so many FCs. No, but I think we should
if
take
you
a
become my
little break
FC, just follow that 5 tips.
Follow these 5 tips and comment your questions if you have any questions. This is like the only chance that you'll get to ask her like deeply about her life, about her tips, her secrets. That's right.
โดยมา take a little bit break.
Yeah.
And the next break, I will give that question first after we break. I know it's coming.
Okay.
No, we break and go on. If Philly, you want to request the song for us?
The last song, right?
Yes.
มอเจ็ดได้บอก
อินเทรนขนาดเอื้อยเขาก็ได้
in trend เลยเนาะเดี๋ยวนี้เนาะกำลังดังเลยเนาะของติงเนาะ
ไอตีอุดาไล
เป็นหมวกเนาะไอติค่ะเบอร์
ตีฟังอยู่อันนึงผลงานเพลงนี้ไปฟังกันก่อนมอเจ็ดแล้วเบรกหน้าจะมาล้มกันเพิ่มเติมแล้วก็ยังอยู่กับไอ้ฟิลลี่ยาฟ้าวไปสาย Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back to English Chit Chat. Today we are with Philly. Wow. Very informative, very inspiring, very lively talk. How do you feel? This is the second break.
Still active, full of energy.
And annoying, like รำคาญส่ง
No, because we have a question here, like what are the things that annoy you? We will save it later. Save it for the later. No? Okay, so good to know that you are still like energetic, full of energy, because we still have some questions to ask you, right? Dad, do you know that she has received a certified, like she is certified leader for the new millennials?
I've heard that.
It's a course or what? Like, could
Leadership
you maybe
for
explain?
New Millennium is like a course that you took, you learn from it, and I also graduated from executive MBA on the leadership as well from Uni of Sydney Uni. So all together with another 20 more women in my class, Lao women. So
20?
they might be
Why there's so
there
many
might be
women?
another
Gosh.
candidates for you to talk to. They're also inspirational women out there as well. Yeah. But leadership for the new millennials is about how to manage the workforce and the business in this genre, in this era where you know the task force of today is millennials. And millennials are no like other. They are harder to please. They want to have a freedom of work.
True.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys are millennials, you guys are teenagers now, you know that you are full of energy, you know that you are, you have lots of access to information. Like our time we didn't have Facebook or internet to play with that easily. So basically the new millennials workforce, they look for fulfillment in their life, fulfillment in their work. So if their work, that work has to be very meaningful to them.
Right.
So they wanted to feel like they contribute to a cause. So which means you have to make them feel like they contribute to the growth of your company, to the growth of themselves, you know, self-development. You need to give them more challenge to do, and with the right coaching for them. So they want to be challenged, they want to be fulfilled. So this task force, you can't just use traditional management methods and the system anymore.
Right.
Lots of family-owned businesses in Laos and any other country, they kind of, you know, jump right away into the authoritative style. You have to do this, do that, and that's people don't like. They are not a servant. They are not in the slavery era anymore. So people have their rights to decide what they want to do. So if you see their strength, you manage their strength and their capability well, use their talent to the fullest, they will be a happy worker, there will be a happy workforce. You know, before we used to manage as top down, right? Now I manage as a bottom up. My staff have voices, you know, they can suggest things, they can contribute into the growth, they can give more ideas. Then we listen as a management. You can't just, you know, ignore what people has been, you know, under you feel.
Yeah, because I was also very interested about like how did you adapt or adopt these ideas that you have obtained in the course into, you know, managing your own company as well, because of course you are a CEO, right? So how like do you apply this in your organization?
As a CEO, you have a privilege, you know, to influence, because influence change, you have to be a change agent yourself from top down. Influence change from top down. You know, company growth and development is bottom up. So you need to set the culture of your, they call it corporate culture in your company. You set it as your culture that, you know, people have equal voice. Male and female are equal. I made my male staff washing dishes. If you drink coffee mug, you wash your own coffee mug. It's not about directly, okay, it's a female job to really pour the beer, cooking when you have a party. That's not the role of women only. It's the role of everybody. If men's out there and you're contributing to this house chore and treat a woman as a person, as an individual, you are a male of a new millennium, and I applaud you.
I love that.
Yes.
I really love that, I would say. So, Philly, since I concern myself as a millennial.
Yeah, you are.
And what if my manager or for example, my manager or my leader or my boss, he or she just like have their own style of leading.
A dictator.
Exactly. Or the own style, I would say, the own style. And how can that own style adopt to this new thinking, this new environment in school, since so many millennials working in that office? And how can that person get to know more about this idea on he or she can get started to adopt this idea to his office or her office?
Yeah. Well, starting from listening to this channel, the business owners has to be very open-minded, because if he's not willing to change, then nobody can really do anything. So, and secondly, they has to realize that this is the new era, 21st century already. The market changed. The services and competitors, environment has changed and shift. So this shifting paradigm, it kind of make you or forcing you to change. And if you're a boss and then you have an open-minded, then it's easier. But if in case if your boss are not very open-minded and still very old-fashioned, I suggest that during the meetings, you say, oh, that's we being a little bit subtle in terms of introducing new idea, like, oh, your idea is really great. How about we add 1, 2, 3 that would have come out with different results?
Right.
Would you mind I test this out? I will be responsible for these changes or these suggestions. So we also take accountability as well to show them if it's really succeed. Because these people can be convinced only when they see results, when they see the monies. So that's the way, one of the many tips that you have to subtly change people around you. And if you could do that by taking initiative, being proactive about it, then you will feel proud about yourself of you influence someone even higher than your reach.
That is true, because sometimes you gotta start from yourself, not just wait for the whole management to the system to change. Probably you are the one, you are the agent of change, like Philly just said.
Everybody is an agent of change, but they're just so scared. The reason that they don't want to lose their job, but in fact, there's so many jobs out there similar to what you're doing right now. I would like to advise you that choose the good boss instead of choose the good company.
Wow.
Because if you have a good boss, you learn a lot.
True.
But if you have a good company with a bad boss, you're just one tiny ant into that whole world that they don't even notice you with your change or with your willingness.
Wow, that was a very good lesson to the young people out there.
Such an eye-opening thing.
And how about when we talk about leadership now, when it comes to leadership, especially the millennial leaders, what would you suggest? Maybe some tips for what are the traits maybe of a good leader, especially the young leader?
What they should have, right? I think they have to be the negative,
the character.
Character traits, personality traits. I think open-minded, willingness to listen. You have to have an active listening skills with open-minded to really see what's out there. Otherwise, you never change, and you don't being informed enough in terms of the changing world. And outside world has been changing, and that can lead to your failure of your business. And that's a huge opportunity lost right there if you are not open-minded and if you're not willing to change, being an active listener. And the second of the leader is that you just lead by doing. Don't just tell people what to do, but you just lead them. Let's do it together. I carry a table together with my staff. I don't scare of, I'm not scared of getting my hand dirty. Just work. I clean. I wanted my maid to have a spotless on my floor company floor I go down and say okay we should use a knife we should scratch this I scratch half of that way and then she learned and the next day I don't need to tell her so that we do it together
Now I really wanted to visit your office
No.
just to witness like the cleanliness
like Philly speaking of being the leader since you are the female leader and female CEO in your opinion what kind of the mindset that Lao females should have in order for them to pursue
the
dream or if they want to be a CEO what kind of mindset they should have yeah
well as a woman you don't really classify yourself as a woman you should change your mindset the mindset here I said is that I'm a woman all the time it's not I'm a person I'm just one of the person in this entire world 7 billion people I'm a person
true
and if you classify as a woman you're lucky to born as a woman I think
totally
you know why
agree.
because you are born to be an achiever a manager the leader the multitasker the mother you know the gift of all you become a mother you produce another human being you create another human being your job's already high enough compared to all others humankind in this world sorry guys I don't mean to discredit men that you know you contribute to creating a baby but a woman carry 9 months of the baby they go through pain to deliver a baby so they nurture the baby they take care of the husband family their family their siblings they have a lot on their shoulders and they still strive they still survive so I think women are the strongest people on earth so you are already strong you are already extraordinary so you don't see yourself as a victim please you're not a victim
right
see yourself as an achiever and go for your dream and that's the mindset you should have I mean I can do it other can do it why can't I do it we might start from different social capital you know I have no different than any other little girl I study English from temple a temple at night 5 to 7 6 to 7 class at night I go even though my parents don't allow me to go out at night you know back in the time but I go I say I want to learn English I want to be good at it you know you read you borrow your friend's book and you study you don't have money to buy I don't have money to buy luxury books you know IELTS and TOEFL books is very expensive I borrow them I don't even have money to make a photocopy but I just borrow them for a week and trying to copy everything that I can and practice it to become good in English and yeah
wow ladies
wow
like I really say
that's
just
very such a good mindset for
true.
especially I need to like especially for all women for all the female out there you don't see yourself as a female you see yourself as a person in this world
or if you see yourself as a female just be empowered by it
exactly
just like I really said
so
I really love that
wow that was very powerful
I know
and I think you should share this with your friend I mean this video if you like if you want to I mean like spread this message to your friends maybe I think I will like also say this to my friends as well a lot of like females out there are having a big dreams but of course like because of the social norms and a lot of things like working environment old style working environment they are struggling pretty much
if other people can why I cannot do that so I'm also a person in this world why I have the ability to do this to contribute to this don't let a tiny barrier the social norms anything just like stop you from doing anything
true
girls
and of course we know Philaiphone now as a CEO and apart from your working routine like in your career I'm just curious because like you seem to be a person a leader that have you know like an open mindset so I just wonder what do you do in your daily life in order to keep yourself growing I mean you mentioned about a book. I'm really sure that you read a lot as
A
well.
lot, yes, I do.
Yeah, and probably I think like for me what you do in the daily basis, like your routine apart from working, that will contribute a lot.
And sleeping.
Your hobbies, whatever you do to, like keep growing, keep improving.
I sleep very little, so I would say I'm pretty active most of the day. I don't take a nap, which I should. But yeah, in the morning I do my yoga. Sometimes I do meditation, just 10 minutes meditations, just to have time to yourself. You need to get to know yourself by talking to yourself, and then have a conversation to yourself. Go swimming, go to the gym, driving alone, and not spending time with yourself. Watching, watching TV or walking your dog is not spending time with yourself. Talking to yourself in the morning, before I go to sleep, I also think, what are the 3 things I've done good today before I sleep, and what are the things I want to do tomorrow as a checklist. And during the day, I just work as normal. I like to cook, I like to read, I like to watch inspirational videos. If I want to be good at any skills at all that I don't have a degree on, like for example, I want to be good at accounting. When I start a business, I say, okay, I need to know accounting. I learn from YouTube. I sit and learn. It's like a series of 50 videos. I sit and learn and make notes. And now I'm able to teach my accountant something, which is, they have a degree in accounting. I don't. But any skills, that you want, you can acquire by spending time on it. So that's how I live my day, and that's how I develop myself non-stop.
Besides the things that you do for
your
growing
busy
you
schedule.
up, so what if someday you face some obstacles or you're feeling down as a CEO Philly? How can you overcome that moment?
Actually, when I feel down, I usually binge watch movies.
Me too.
That's very, very different. Instead of drinking, I just watch movie. I just watch and watch. I'm just being inactive about my brain for a while, and also sleep also very, very much help you. If you have a good sleep, you really wake up in the morning and you say, oh, there's another day, it's another problem, not yesterday problem anymore. And you still have to strive. You still have, I still have my mother, my sister and brother who I love, and then I still have to take care of them. So I just, those people who by my side and who love me are the people who keep me going. So it's very, very rare or very hard to put me down, actually. Yeah, come this far, you have to know how to let go. Yeah, when you turn number 4, you know how to let go. When you're in your 20s, everything is a problem. The little problem become a big problem because you created it yourself. But when you kind of age, then you calm, you be more calm, you see the world, not just one side of the story, you see the whole 360 degrees. Your opinion doesn't hurt me, it's just your opinion. For example, if people think that way, it's just other people's opinion, they only see things that way, then you don't have any conflict with others. Really
Totally agree. Like I'm near 30. I'm near to number 3 right now. And one more thing, like the most important thing that I learned is that don't take anything personally.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I learned a lot. I totally agree. And like I also wonder, like along your journey, I believe, to be a CEO, to be a great leader. So I just wonder, was there any moment in life or anything that you did that you wish that you could go back and do it differently?
No, I would not go back and change anything, to be honest, because failure or succeed, it just both are lessons, and you learn from it. And if you don't fail, you don't succeed. So I will not change anything. Wow. Bad past, good past, it's just the past. It is not following you today. Today it's about who you are, how you live your life. Tomorrow is another story.
I again love it I would say love it 100 times now like this 1 hour program but I'm seriously I love it even I also told myself like the way that you just talking like right now but when you speak it out to us and to our audiences out there I just found that this is very inspiring
yeah very true
and I love it and I love everything that they really just share with us in this 1 hour I know that many questions still in our mind like 2 of us now questions popping up but since the time it's very limited and it's running out of time we need to
we have a are we doing the last activity do we have time or not
no I want to ask this question
oh yeah please
you ask this one in the end
please really oh yeah so one last question since we have it here what are the things that annoy you
a slacker a slacker annoys me because why would you want to be slow and slack when you can run
wow
you know because you know if you're being lazy and you're being inactive it's just like you don't do anything and then for me if I have to be in an idle mode I'm going frustrated I'm going crazy
would you say that being hesitating you know about situations being hesitating about deciding making decisions would be this form of lacking
not everybody born with decisive skills or decisive capability but you know it's being prudent or being indecisive or scared and have feared it's normal because you are a human being if you have fear please remember this everything is just temporary fear is temporary tomorrow the same fear is gone the only thing you could to conquer fear is just to take the first step failure or success it's about your first step
again love it
I know you know one of her tip is to have like a role model and I think I already have one here
thank
you know
you
I met her once in the CSR
it's the first
event.
time that
but I remember her like since that day since I think it was like more than 1 year ago
yes
I still remember you were like so there were some talks some moments that I really you know like admire so thank you very much for giving us time today
pleasure
for coming it's such a very meaningful moment for us especially to us and I'm sure that for our listeners out there as well they will get something from you in this conversation
I hope so
and I'm sure again if you think that this video it's very helpful it's very useful you can share this to people in your circle
man I have
because
already
it's going to
shared
be inspired by other people no but for today I don't want to say goodbye but the time it's running
please
out
come back again Philly
yes
please
yeah probably about to talk about your projects in the future who knows
yeah.
but
right now I'm running a youth project in Siang Kwang on employment on entrepreneurship so if any youth out there who live in Siang Kwang please go to the Youth Union Siang Kwang office to obtain application form the application closed 26 July so please do so that's another time to realize your dream
can also you know like spread the news spread the words as well right yeah please because I think this is a good opportunity especially to work with such a great leader over here
I'll send over the poster
yeah please we will post on our page but before we say goodbye I need to read this comment out Sis Philly it's very inspiring I'm inspired by your talk and the last one
thank you
today Granny Mali is beautiful than usual
oh because of the position I will always be in this position because of the lights
everything
do you watch the Big Bang Theory like the Sheldon spot no just kidding sorry
okay guys ขอบใจหลาย Philly thank you so much again thank you and thank you for listeners out there thank you for the sponsors Coca-Cola Chester Failing thank you for the Sky Telecom 1833 if you want to have the very fast internet connection please call them ask more information do you need
no and of course Coca-Cola is a feeling
I just say
you say that sorry because I was like flattered because of the น้ำทิพย์ the comment น้ำทิพย์พร้อมเนาะ only น้ำทิพย์เท่านั้นเนาะ
okay มาสำหรับวันนี้เวลาหมดที่หลีแล้ว next program you will stay with เอ้ยบาหลี
yes
let's speak
English
stay with her okay สำหรับวันนี้เวลาหมดเวลาแล้ว we need to say goodbye guys see you next time bye